How's it going, everybody? Joys of Sorrow here. Welcome back to the Joys of Sorrow channel. And today I thought I'd do a little unboxing of the top fin Liquidy split is what it's called. Now this is a 1 gallon aquarium. This is want to specify really quick that I don't personally believe, and there's a lot of people online who don't believe, that a 1 gallon aquarium is enough to house almost any fish, even a betta fish. So please keep that in mind, and I will talk about my ideas for this a little later in the video. For now, I'm just going to focus on the unboxing part. So here it is. It comes in many different colors. My son actually picked this color out on the Black Friday sale. It's comes with bright white LEDs. It has a feeding door on the top lid. It's all glow-in-the-dark green. The filter uses the top fin EFS element, really small filters, and obviously it has a top fin element filter with it, and it has a divider as well. It is acrylic plastic, so let's just go ahead and pop this open, and we'll go through the pieces real quick. So, lid has a little feeding door right there to open up to feed whatever animal or fish you have inside. There is a 0.75 watt 12 volt LED light on the inside. And there's these little pegs and little areas here and hooks here on the bottom to catch to the cord here, which this goes to a plug. Filter, the top fin element filter. This is the model F1. It runs at 1.3 watts at 120 volt at 60 hertz. And it does about 6 gallons per hour, so it's not really a lot, but then again, this is a 1 gallon tank. So, and it has the filter cartridge in the inside. Instructions. This is the plug for the hood, the lighting system on the hood. Some more paperwork. Now let's actually get the tank out. Here's the actual tank. Again, 1 gallon, very small. It comes with a divider. Why the fuck would I need it? But somebody might have a need for this. Again, I don't recommend putting practically any living thing in a 1 gallon until, again, I'll discuss this in a little bit. The divider has holes so it can have flow going through it, and it does have an indicator right there of where the front goes. So, tank is nicely wrapped in plastic. There it is. Very simple, acrylic. Doesn't seem any thinner than like some of the bigger ones, so I mean that's good. It means the quality doesn't go down just because the price or the size does. I mean, that's a positive. So let me go ahead and just show you guys kind of how this will all fit in here. So there's a little groove at the top. In this case is right here, a little lip where the filter will sit. Okay. And then the lid on top of there. Okay. And then obviously, if you want the divider, put the divider in there. I don't mess with those dividers. So, all in all, seems like a pretty decent setup. Of course, there's the size issue. Filter's running at about 6 times the amount of water that's supposed to go in the tank. I would normally prefer 8 to 10, but 6 to 8 is acceptable for some people. So, I mean, it is what it is. And usually these are pretty pricey. Hopefully they'll go down in price, because I can't really justify spending 20 bucks on something like this. And the only reason I got it was on sale for $8. So you know, I kind of figured if it ever goes bad, I have a motor for maybe one of the other 2.5 gallons that I have, or the 3.5 gallon. If I need an emergency motor, you know, I paid $8 for a spare motor. However, I do have a reason why I've bought this, and one of the things is I've recently set up a hospital tank for my fish, and it's great. And however, what if the fish that I need to put in there isn't exactly, friendly with other fish? What if it's a much more aggressive species? So, like for my betas, for example, I couldn't put a beta with a platy in the tank at once. It could probably cause complications. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna assume the worst. So I have seen that most people, or at least most people do, is they'll actually just go and get a 1 gallon fishbowl and use that as a medication tank for betas. So I do have a fishbowl to do that. However, there's no real filtration you can go through that's gonna go through unless because you're gonna have to clean it out every day. Just the fact that there's no flow of water at all just makes me a little uncomfortable. So I'm considering this as a possibility for a beta hospital tank. And the only thing that would go in here is a beta. And I do have I have the small 10-watt heaters that I use for the 2.5 gallons and even the 5 gallon tanks. So I could use one of those in here. It won't take up a lot of space at all. Just have something that has filtration going through it. Obviously, I wouldn't use this piece here if I'm going to use it for medicating. I'll save that for the 2.5 gallon. And what I have thought of, I'll show you guys. So, shopping on Amazon last week, and I noticed that the Aqua Clear foam sponges were on sale for under $2. So I picked up 2 packs, and all I had to do was just cut this up at a specific angle. And you guys can see inside. I don't know how well this is going to show you, and then all I'd have to do is just shove this in there, and voila. Okay, so I have a sponge there to grab onto particles and debris, and then I can just lay just a pinch or a handful of biomedia, so that I can have the tank cycled. Obviously, I mean, even though it's a 1 gallon tank, I guess it should still be cycled. So that's kind of the reason why I decided to pick this up. So yeah, my only consideration for something like this is to use it as a way to give fish medication, a temporary quarantine tank, not a permanent residence. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really more I can talk about, except that, again, I want to reiterate that beta fish, platies, most fishes, even those tiniest galaxy rasboras, or tetras guys, they need a lot of water to thrive and live. The rule usually is it's about an inch per every inch of fish. You need a gallon of water. You don't necessarily have to go through that. There's ways to bend that rule, but for the most part, it's a general rule people should follow to get into the hobby. So again, I would never permanently house a fish inside a tank like this. The only other options I can see for something like this would be like if you're into aquascaping, you want to put a little scene and set up there. You're just going to use it to grow plants, then by all means go ahead and do that. If you're not going to stock anything alive, and if you are going to stock anything alive, I have no personal experience with this, but maybe possibly like 2 or 4 ghost shrimp at the most, just make sure you have a lot of live plants and some food to feed them, and be constant with those water changes, because shrimp are sensitive to water, with the water parameters. Maybe a pet snail, and it would have to be a really, really small snail. The only small pet freshwater snails I know thus far are that won't breed in freshwater anyways. I think would be like bumblebee horned nerite snails. There are some horned nerite snails that don't go over 3/4 of an inch. Maybe possibly a ram's horn snail. My only reason I wouldn't recommend like pond snails or anything like that, because they don't need another one of their sex to breed, so they're hermaphroditic or hermaphrodites. So yeah, you'd end up crowding this tank really quick with snails if you just ended up with one pond snail there. You'll end up with like 4 or 5 dozen in no time. So once again, guys, this is just going to be a temporary hospital tank. This is really going to be something new. I've never tried this before for a beta. Please leave your comments down below if you guys know if this is a good idea or if this is a bad idea. I am going to look at the comments in a little while, so I really could use some opinions on that, because if for some reason maybe this is not a good idea for me to use as a medication tank, I can do something else. So then, maybe I could do a little aquascape in here. That wouldn't be so bad. And with an aquascape, I probably won't even need to use this, So, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and have yourselves a great day.